There's been a lot of talk about Massimo Luongo in recent weeks following an interview he gave to an Australian media outlet about his future. Some of the fans have been questioning his commitment. What is your take on the whole situation?
Um, yeah, obviously it's been the last couple of weeks. Mass has had probably a bit of criticism to say the least. It was a pretty modest interview, just with an Australian outlet. He was asked about his future. He responded and said that it was unlikely he was going to be at Town um, next season, which I think we all know is going to happen. Obviously, Mass is extremely talented. He's had an exceptional season. Started it going to Brazil for the World Cup. Um, he's been in great form for Swindon for the most part. Then he's obviously gone to the Asian Cup. Wasn't really expected to feature that much. He ended up playing every game. Named the tournament's most valuable player and ended up scoring in the final. So, as you can imagine, his price tag and his reputation is skyrocketed, somewhat. So I think what he said was, I don't see any problem with it. His manager Mark Cooper's come out and said the same thing. It's not caused any upset in the dressing room, and I think it really, my honest, humble opinion, I think it's refreshing for a footballer to come out and be that honest. I think we all know that he's going to leave. We all know he's going to leave in the summer. We're not quite sure where to yet, but we all know it's going to happen, and I don't think there's anything wrong with his comments. I think the fans need to get behind him now. There's been a lot of comments, especially after Peterborough at the weekend, that his commitment wasn't there, which I think is completely wrong. Knowing Mass as well as I do, and having spoken to him both on and off record over the course of the season, he's more committed than anyone. I think to get Town to the Championship, and he's really passionate about paying him back. He said on countless occasions, and I remember him saying it in a piece I did with him when he just returned from the Asian Cup, that he knew if it wasn't for Swindon, then he probably wouldn't have gone on to enjoy the success he has with Australia. So I don't think there's any doubt in his commitment to the cause.
There's going to be a lot of interested parties once the window reopens in the summer. Where do you think his most likely destination will be?
Obviously, I think there's going to be a bit of a war for his a bidding war for his signature. Obviously, in January, Cardiff made a bid. Seville, the Liga giants, had an approach turned down, understandably. There's also a club over in Dubai or the UAE that was apparently sniffing around. There's been mention of a few Premier League clubs. Of late, I understand that Crystal Palace, which were one of the clubs mentioned, aren't interested in him at this moment in time. I think QPR, which is long been mentioned because of the link between his current agent, David McGrone is the head of recruitment at QPR. That I think really that'd probably be one of the best fits for Mass. But if QPR were to go down from the Premier League, they're going to be hit with some pretty heavy punishments, I understand, from the Football League for financial matters. So I think that would probably rule them out. One of the clubs which is going to be mentioned and won't go away is Aston Villa, because of the Tim Sherwood link. He's obviously former boss at Spurs. He coached him in the development side. He was at Rochdale last night, so that's only going to fuel speculation. And according to my sources in Birmingham, I think Villa are interested. They are looking at revamping their midfield next season. Obviously, Villa have gone down the route of playing a certain brand of football with a lot of